guys, Marian here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the next episode in my summer Shabbat series. This one is all about how to celebrate Shabbat with kids.
Time passes by. We live.
I'm a mom to two boys, a 2.5-year-old toddler, and a newborn, so I love to think of creative ways to make Shabbat exciting, fun, and interesting to young kids. So I hope you guys like this video. If you do, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more. I'm doing a whole summer series about Shabbat, so definitely subscribe so you don't miss any of those, and I have lots of videos about being a mom and being a Jewish mom. So when I approach Shabbat with kids, the most important thing to me is making it a positive and joyful experience. So in our home, Fridays is always a special day. It's the day we happen to not have any like nursery school or classes going on, so I just make it as fun as I can. Usually it starts with going to Target, and my son Max, who's 2.5, is obsessed with the Disney movie Cars, so he gets to pick out one little toy car to take home with him, and in the afternoon we usually watch the movie Cars, so it's a bit of a Cars themed day in our house, but that's just the stage that we're in. What's nice about watching the movie in the afternoon is I also get a chance to like make dinner and prep for Shabbat. But whatever is special to your kids and makes the day fun, I would encourage you to make Friday as special as you can for them. I mentioned in my previous Shabbat video that when we were growing up, my dad brought home cupcakes from the bakery on Friday, and that was like a super special treat. So making Fridays a nice day is really helpful in getting in the Shabbat mood with young kids. Then I like to really build up Shabbat by talking about it a lot on Friday. Every morning when I come get my son from his crib, we always say like, what are we gonna do today? What's special about the day? So on Fridays, it's always like, today's Shabbat, you know, and just like kind of make it exciting by being excited about it. The other thing that we do is we FaceTime our family and say Shabbat Shalom to them.
Shabbat Shalom, really.
How about kisses?
So you always FaceTime my mom and say Shabbat Shalom to her, and she'll usually show Max the challah that she bought for Shabbat, and we'll show her our challah, and it's just another opportunity to talk about Shabbat and just get excited about Shabbat. So seeing other people celebrating it in their homes, whether it's family, friends, or whatever, and seeing them excited about it also just like clues them into the fact that this is a really exciting celebration. Also, connecting with loved ones is a really important part of Shabbat, I believe, so I think it's another important thing to do on Shabbat anyways, is to just reach out to people you love and say hi or FaceTime and just say Shabbat Shalom to them. You can also make Shabbat Shalom cards, and I'll mention more about that in the activity section of this video in a little bit. Okay, then right before Shabbat dinner, I like to have my son help me set the table for Shabbat. He really likes helping to pick flowers from the garden to put on the table, and he's just about getting old enough to help me put the plates on the table as well. So even though it takes a little bit longer to do it with him, I think it's nicer because it gets him excited for the Shabbat meal. Then before we light the candles, something that we learned at Shabbat is we shake out all the yucky stuff from the week. So we all go like this and literally shake out the yucky stuff. We talk about the things we didn't like, we shake them out, any tantrums we had or times we didn't get what we want, etc. for a toddler. And then we welcome in the Shabbat and think about all the wonderful things this past week has held for us and what we're looking forward to in the next week. So that just helps us set the tone for Shabbat, and it also is an age-appropriate way to talk about those sorts of feelings and our expectations for the week ahead for a toddler. Music is something that will last children their whole life long. Adults today still know all the words to those preschool Shabbat songs we learned, like Bim Bam, and it really just sticks with you. I know it has with me, and I love teaching them to my children as well. So something that we do is we have a Shabbat playlist, and we listen to it in the car on Fridays as well as in the afternoon when we're getting ready for Shabbat. A lot of you guys have asked me what are my favorite Jewish artists to listen to and what Jewish music do I recommend. So I wanted to give a special shout out to Rick Recht, who I asked specially if we could share some of his music in this video because he is my #1 all-time favorite Jewish singer. Got a fangirl a little bit here, but his songs are so beautiful and amazing. I've loved them my whole life long, and now my son loves them. We definitely play Rick Recht music in our car, and we sing to it in the house as well, so I'll insert a few little clips of that. Max, what song is this? The what? We love the Kedosha song.
Kedosha.
artists that we love, like Melita and Isaac, Craig Taubman, Cindy Paley. I could go on, and I will. In the description box below, you will see everything linked to all my favorite Jewish music, which you can buy on iTunes. In addition to music, another really important way to teach kids about the holiday is through books. We get a lot of books from PJ Library, which is a free resource you can get Jewish books for kids from. And we also have a wonderful collection in our home. So I'm going to show you guys some of our favorite Shabbat books. And we like to read these on a Friday as well, whether it's before nap time or before bedtime after we've already eaten the Shabbat meal. Again, it's just nice to save those things for Fridays and really reinforce that it's a special day, special books, etc. Another important aspect of Shabbat, which you can start to introduce to your children, is the concept of tzedakah, which is to give charity. We have a Tzedakah box in our house, and mostly at this age for my son, we're just playing with the coins in it.
The big Tzedakah box.
A what?
The big Tzedakah box.
Are you doing tzedakahs?
Let's put some more.
Let's put some more coins in the tzedakah box.
Hey, around there. Hey.
And of course, mitzvot, acts of loving kindness, are way more tangible and important to teach your children than just the money aspect. So anytime you can do a good deed and take your kids with you and explain it to them, of course, that's huge. And sometimes it's just little things. So for example, on the weekend, my son really didn't want to go for a walk, but I explained to him that because we have dogs, we need to take care of them, and it's a really important aspect of being kind to animals is making sure they go on their walk. So that's just a quick example of a way to introduce the concept of mitzvot to young children, but you can use it throughout your week when you see an aspect of giving tzedakah and remind them that it's an important part of who we are, and that Fridays, especially before Shabbat, we want to think about that and make sure we give some tzedakah. Okay, then we can't talk about Shabbat without talking about food. I like to make my kids' favorite foods on Shabbat, but I also like to have Max involved in baking challah with me as much as he can. He loves playing with the dough, he loves eating challah, etc. So if you have the chance to make challah with your kids, it's a lovely component of Shabbat that they can really get their hands dirty with and enjoy. And most children, I admit, really like challah. On Shabbat, it's also traditional to bless your children. If you don't want to use the traditional blessing because the Hebrew is too complicated or you don't like the English translation, then I encourage people to just say their own special prayers about what they are hopeful for their children for the next week, or just gives you a chance to tell your kids that you're proud of them or you're so happy to be together. Let's jump into activities. This is a fun way to get your kids' imaginations going with DIYs, crafts, etc. And I'm going to share with you guys some of my favorites right now. So the first thing I want to share is this really cute Shabbat activity packet. I found this online. I'll link it in the description below. And it's full of all sorts of fun activities for preschool and young school age kids. Lots of fun little learning things like circling the pictures that belong together and tracing lines and just learning all about different Shabbat symbols and things. And yeah, that's a really fun one you guys can do with your kids. The next thing I want to talk about is Shabbat printables. These are online, they're free, and I just love to color them in with my son. This one I did myself, obviously, but they're really cute. Another thing I love are dot markers. So I like to write out the word Shabbat in Hebrew and have my son do the dots on it to learn the Hebrew letters and the word Shabbat. Then the next activity we love to do are Shabbat Shalom cards. You can write them for different members of the family, even your pets, whoever your kid wants to, and then just color them in. We also have Shabbat puzzles. This is a foam one that is very well loved in our house. It has some smaller pieces, but my son has so much fun with that one. And we always talk about the Challah and the Kiddush Cup and the candles. And then I also want to mention just being creative with what you already have. So we have tons of Legos in our house, and we like to just write out the word Shabbat. We learn about the Hebrew letters and we just get creative. You can definitely use Legos to build like the Shabbat candles or a Kiddush Cup or all things like that, especially if you have the smaller Legos. They're so fun for that. So that's it. That is my Shabbat with Kids video. I hope you guys liked it and learned something. Again, huge shout out and thank you to Rick Recht for letting me showcase some of his beautiful Jewish music. If you guys liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. I'll see you next time. Bye!